a warning if you attempt to watch the Apple TV Plus show Trying and you haven't yet. You may be like Steve and watch an entire season in one night, which he did last night.
I did.
The entire first season in one run.
Great. It's a great show.
You're absolutely loving it, right?
I can't wait to get into season 2 tonight.
We have the two stars of the show. Please welcome Esther Smith and Rafe Spall to the program.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. So have you guys heard this a lot about the show, that once people start to dive into it, that they go and do the full binge and just knock it all out?
Yeah, that feels like it's a common theme. I think it's just so easy just to watch one after the other, and it's so nice that you have 3 series now to.
Well,
yeah, totally.
And to that point, Esther, you've worked on the show. That's great, and it's tough to get the word out sometimes. We're just talking, before we came on about having a quality product that you'd like people to see. So we're going to endeavor to get people to do that. And as I was watching it, and the thing that immediately caught me, and I'm sure you probably hear a Ted Lasso comparison in tone. These are good people that you like, that you enjoy watching and you're rooting for. You genuinely feel good. You feel legitimate emotion. These aren't caricature people. They're real characters. And just explain the conceit, because I think it's a unique one. I've never seen a show that addresses this topic full on.
Absolutely, yeah. So the show is set in London, and we have a couple that have been together for a while that decide that they want to have children. They're not blessed with the natural ability to be able to do that, so they go down the route of adoption, which is a very involved process. And the first season is about them being approved by the local authority. And then the second season is about them being matched. And then the third season is about the kids that they've been matched with. But, I think that infertility as a subject is a thing that touches many people's lives, right? And is perhaps still a bit of a taboo. People don't talk about it that often.
No.
And as you said, these are good people trying to do the right thing. And I think most people watching will identify as good people trying to do the right thing. So, we all think we're good people, right? So that's why it's...
We would like to believe it, but you guys make a case for it. And my everyone here has kids except my wife, and I do not. And you even address that sort of stigma of being the people at a party who don't have the kids' stories to tell, and all those various things. I think there's something firing in it. The legitimacy of the writing, and it's Andy Walton is the creator and writer.
Yeah.
He wrote every episode.
Every episode.
This is the most keyed-in person to the human condition that I've ever, seen. At least
I'm not going to tell him that you said that.
His head's probably big enough already. But there's one episode in particular in that first season. It was one that just made me watch the entire season straight through. The ex-girlfriend episode, where we've all had that situation where, Rafe, you have your ex-girlfriend, and you're having this relationship. But the way she articulates, why did you become the person that I really wanted you to be after we broke up?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's that's the kind of insight and things that you see that I think we connect to, because we're all massive Ted Lasso fans, in the human condition. And no one's a mustache-twirling nemesis, and everyone's got their foibles, and that resonates as real. And you can watch the show without feeling you're going to be bombarded with something that's going to... You're going to only connect to things, which is so hard to write and make it funny. And things that are, as you said, are kind of taboo, but you guys have such a chemistry. Was there an elaborate process in getting you together, or was it lightning in a bottle?
No, we met 3 hours before our chemistry. You have a chemistry read.
Right.
To see if you have chemistry in front of people that you don't know, with someone that you don't know, just to prove that you have this thing called chemistry, which I just think is a mad kind of idea anyway. But so we met 3 hours before to see if we could go through the scenes, and we just chatted for 3 hours, didn't we? It was it was just such a it's just an instant thing. So I think we knew that we were okay and in safe hands. And
so my wife and I have been with 25 years, and it's there are those little subtle things, that little secondary language that you guys sort of project, and I don't know if that's just because you're such good working partners.
We actually don't like each other.
We hate each other.
But it's hard to fake, though. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is difficult. But we, as Esther alluded to, we just immediately got on, and it was very clear that we liked each other as people, which is really important, because if you're going to be doing a TV show for a long amount of time, like the more I do this, the more I realize that the experience that you have making the thing is more important perhaps than the quality of the finished product, because the quality of the finished product really we have no control over.
Right.
And the only thing that we have control over as human beings is the fulfillment that we get from being able to do the thing that we always wanted to as kids, which was make TV shows, and I get to hang out with one of my favorite people in the world every day when I'm on set.
Oh.
Get to come to Philadelphia with her, it's really, I'm so pleased that people like the show, and of course, like I've done a lot of shows that people don't like, so this is this is a relief. But really, like we have such a wonderful time doing it, and it's been such an important part of our lives. And the people that like this show love this show.
Well,
right?
it has a sharp sense of humor too. Don't think that it has a really there's a bit of sarcasm. There's a bit of stuff that you would not expect to see joined with this in the way that it is.
Yeah.
There are all sorts of Esther, you have a particular, it happens early on in the first season where there's a sort of a baby shower, I guess, or an event going on, a lot of babies, you're holding the baby, and you're like, you've decided I'm going to be nasty to this one, and I hope it doesn't grow up to be a prick.
Yeah. It's one of my favourite lines. It's
Yeah.
just because it's one of those things I really relate and recognise that. I don't know whether she means to say it. It just kind of comes out just because she's so filled with this, like, I guess maybe the unjustness of it, or like she feels that she's at a baby shower, and she's at that stage in her life where there are people with babies and children everywhere, and everyone's doing the grown-up thing in the right way that they think that being a grown-up should be, and I just think that these things come out of her mouth, and then
It's great.
it's so funny.
It is
just
great.
And I love playing that.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I almost want to apologize to you guys because I watched the trailer for the show today, and I'm like, this looks really great. I think I can really dive into this. And you guys are 3 seasons in, and I'm just now finding out about it. And it's unfortunately the nature of so many different things of there are these great shows that exist, and there's a glut of, as Steve was saying, of
Quality stuff.
that's out there. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I wish I would have known about this.
But it's so great, right? That's one of the great things about it. Like, I do it in my everyday life. There's that show with Pamela Adlon called Better Things. I don't know if you've seen that show.
I've heard of it, yeah.
So you've heard of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I'd heard of it, and then I had like 4-5 seasons there waiting for me, and it was tremendous. And it's fantastic. There is so much quality out there, because I guess a lot of the talent that was involved in the movie making business, as in like exhibition cinema, has now moved over to the TV world. Like, you get movie stars doing TV shows, and it's terrific, and all these amazing writers, and also the long form of it is really, I think, exciting for creatives.
Yeah,
Oh my
because you
God, it
can't
makes
do-
such a difference.
Yeah, well, listen, nobody would ever, like, when you heard of a movie that was going to be 3 hours long, you're like, oh my God.
Right.
I can't sit in a movie theater for 3 hours, and now you'll sit down for 5 hours or 4 hours and watch an entire season.
I did it last night.
You're like, man, there's only 8 episodes in this season.
There's only 8 hours.
Only 8 hours.
But we mentioned Ted Lasso a couple of times, and I feel like I was the first one on this show to watch Ted Lasso. And they were basically working on season 2. It was about to be released. And it wasn't until, like, I think it might have been like a bunch of Emmy or Golden Globe nominations. I'm like, what the freak? Like, all right, I guess I'll just give it a try, and I did. And then I fell in love, and then I told him. And Preston is very reluctant to watch or listen to anything that I recommend.
Yeah.
And he did. And then he loved it. But like now,
You're going to watch Trying, aren't you, Preston?
I listen to anything that Steve recommends. And if Steve is going to tell me that this show is amazing, then I'm going to watch it, because this guy right here is like, I mean, I trust there are people that I trust their opinions when it comes to food, and then there's people I trust when it comes to like watching something on TV or in the movies, and Steve's that guy.
Well,
so.
thank you. Also, let me ask you a question, because important too. And again, I don't want to keep up bringing Ted Lasso, but we love the show, and I love your show, and they're going to love your show. Music plays such an important part in it, and there's a busker that appears periodically, different, but the music is really wonderful. Is that all original stuff for the show, or am I just not?
Yeah, so that's Maisie Peters. And
Okay.
she did our music for series 2, but she appears in series 1 as a busker, and then she did the odd track, I think, and then for series 2 she essentially did the whole soundtrack.
But, you know, actually, so the director of the show, we were filming in Camden and he saw this young woman busking and was like...
Camden, England, by the way.
You should check out Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah,
You
not
really
Camden,
should.
New Jersey,
Exactly.
but shout out Camden, New Jersey.
You'll think you're back in England.
Yeah, exactly. No, so Camden,
Visit our Kensington before you leave as well.
Yes, I heard it's terrific. It's quite similar to our Kensington. Very much. So he sees this young woman busking. He's like, "You're terrific. Do you want to be in the show?" She then subsequently becomes the first person to be signed by Ed Sheeran's record label. And then she opened up on tour for him. So then she did the music for the entire second season. But the first season was a great British band called Elbow. Do you know the British band Elbow?
No,
really good.
you
Guy
know.
Garvey.
Yeah.
He's really cool. You should check those guys out. They did the music for the first season, and then the third season is done by a British band called Bear's Den. So one musical artist does the whole season's music, but it plays a big part in the show.
This is a show that makes you feel good in all the right ways, and all the humor, which is not telegraphed, comes in the right way. And I found myself laughing out loud a number of times because also there's a whole bunch of people who populate your life. Your friends and family who deliver the kind of inappropriate things that friends and family will tend to say to you without realizing, you shouldn't have said that. And that's what makes it ring so true. Yeah.
But it's all with love, it's a bunch of people trying to do the right thing and coping with difficult situations with humor, which is very human, which is something I've always done. Is when things are going badly in my life, I tend to make jokes. So I think it's pretty identifiable in that way.
Well, early on, Esther, your character of Nikki basically says, this hell, we're going to hell in a handbasket. Everything's going to end, and basically, Rafe, your character says, well, at least you have a plan, and that's the approach. It was funny to us to see again. Reactions to shows that are like this, and again, sorry for the Ted Lasso connection, but people actually, there was this backlash of it's uplifting, and there seemed to be a bizarre, it makes you feel good, and what's that about, and why is it, not everything needs to be that.
Totally. It's funny, I think we're so used to a lot of doom and gloom that to actually feel good maybe it's a bit of a surprise.
It was such a shock, I guess that's what the issue is.
But I guess there was a trend for a long time in TV, which resulted in a lot of great TV of anti-heroes, like John Hamm in Mad Men, like Tony Soprano, people that, although they've got lots of flaws, you still root for, right? So that was a sort of trope, which and shows like Us and Ted Lasso, it's like, no, it's okay to be a good person and be trying to do the right thing. Because I think that's how we all identify ourselves.
You know what though? I was trying to with Ted Lasso, I was waiting for something to happen where he shows his true self, and he never did, or he always did. Or you know what I mean? I was just waiting for that. So
exactly. Well, it's the same with these guys. They're just good people.
We're just cynical viewers, I guess.
I would imagine the community, the infertility, people who are dealing with this in their real lives are reaching out to you guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's so lovely about social media, because you can have that instant dialogue with people. The amount of people that have got in touch is continuous and is overwhelming. People that are either going through infertility or having particular struggles, or people that are adopting or going through the process. The common thing that we seem to hear is that they just don't, it makes them feel not alone in it, which I think is so important.
It's got to be, because it's all about also being judged. I mean, again, these are, you're being judged, and the question you're asking yourselves is, as your characters, well, are we worth it? Are we really up to snuff? Or, you make a list of the things that are bad about yourself in preparation for this packet of adoption, and I look at this now, and we seem to be bad. And then you realize, no, you're good. You're good. And that, we sometimes we get judged a lot in life, and sometimes you need to be reminded, no, you're worth something. You've got something to offer, and that's as wonderful a message as you're going to find on television right now.
And you know what? I want to take this moment because Nick and I were corresponding with a woman named Shelly, and I guess we had a conversation about IVF. Not that long ago, within the last year or two. And so Shelly, she thanked us for having the conversation and had gone through 5 unsuccessful rounds of IUIs, 3 rounds of IVF. she and her husband welcomed a baby boy, Miles Michael, and then that happened on August 5th. So, so I just wanted to send a congratulations out to her because this is something that is happening all over the world, and people listening right now are going through it, and so sometimes. Really
You're not
things
alone.
do happen.
Yeah, and things do happen. Yeah, and it's very cool. So
that's very heartening to
gorgeous.
hear. But I think it's like it's a show because some people won't be affected by the issues in it, but I think that something that everyone feels is getting to a certain stage in your life where you feel like something's missing, right?
And that's yeah.
For them, it's kids. For others, it might be career. For others, it might be a new partner, like a geography, like where you're living. But I think that that's something that we get to at a point in our life, and we're like, something's missing. Like something needs to change in my life. And in their case, it's a kid.
Yeah.
And I find it like so moving. They're wanting to connect with a child that they do get eventually matched with. But like it's embarrassing to say, but I cry watching my own TV show, and I don't know whether it's worse to like be moved by your own work or laugh at your own jokes. I don't know what's worse, but I sit there sobbing at myself in a TV show. It's not good.
Listen to some of the text coming in. It says, Trying is one of the best shows ever. This says, love the show. Trying is the best. They play the cutest couple.
Yes.
And there's several of them. Just people are saying the same thing. Absolutely love Trying. My wife and I started watching season 1 when it came out while my wife was pregnant with our first son. Everyone should watch this show. So it is on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, and now you have many episodes.
That's kind of why I'm happy because now my wife and I love to have our show that we can because we do have kids and things get chaotic, and when we can sit down and have that time, and they're 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, and you're going to feel good.
You can knock these out. There is currently 6 seasons in third episode, or I'm in this
6 episodes
in third season. They come out on Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how many episodes in this particular season, the third season?
8.
It's gonna be
8 episodes. So 6 comes out Friday
Next
coming.
Friday,
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll have this entire 3 seasons to go through.
It's all there for you.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah. And it's just, people say that the show is like a sort of warm bath or a hug or whatever. It's just makes you feel good,
I love
And there
it.
is
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with feeling good.
People want to fight feeling good and liking people and supporting their quests and their decisions about life. You just get behind it and love these people.
Esther, can you say busking again? Because I really liked it.
Do you know what? As soon as I said it, I
Go on,
thought no
say
one's
it.
going to know what I just said. Busking.
Puss.
But can you tell that because Esther's got a very specific English accent, which is from the Midlands, which is an area called the Black Country, and it's very specific.
It's very specific.
I don't know if this is insulting to. You're adorable, and your character, you're so legitimately adorable.
She is.
And it's also because I think of there's a line in It's a Wonderful Life where Jimmy Stewart's going at the old avaricious character in the play, and Potter, and he's saying these are the real people that do most of the living and the dying, and you guys project that. You work as a customer relations for a rental car company, and yet you're up when you answer the phone, and that's the common thing of most people, and that's what it means so much to and see you guys go through this. So I know I'm but I just thought it was wonderful. I just thought that first.
But
season
they're
was
regular
so good.
folks as well. Like they don't have fancy jobs. They've got like regular jobs. Nikki works on the phones in a car company. And
You're a teacher?
I teach English as a foreign language to foreign students. And I guess like a lot of the popular culture that comes out of Great Britain in terms of like Richard Curtis movies, which are great, but those guys all live in like, $15 million houses. And have pretty fancy lives. But these are like regular folk who don't have a lot of money or status or any of that stuff. They're just, trying to do the right thing. I just finished doing I was just doing To Kill a Mockingbird, the play in the West End, the Aaron Sorkin version, and there's a great bit at the end of it where Scout says to the audience, in terms of like it's like a coda to the play. She's like, trying to do the right thing is the right thing.
Yeah.
And I think that definitely applies to these characters. They're trying to do the right thing. They might fail, they might do it wrong, but they keep trying to be good, and I think that's really beautiful.
It's great. Again.
I saw in one of the trailers Imelda Staunton. Are there any other cameos or people that pop up that we would know?
She's in it quite a lot. Imelda.
She's in it. So
She's amazing.
We had her in the studio.
Oh, she was
I
great.
have such a crush on her.
You do?
I do,
Fantastic.
no doubt. Like that pink outfit that she wears in Harry Potter. I was like, I don't know. Like I just have a
It's
thing.
niche, but I like it. It's good. Yeah.
She's such a lovely human. She was so much fun to work with, and just so like her part as well. She plays this social worker, and she's kind of this dotty character, and she's got so much to say, and she's just a pro. I don't know how she does it.
She is a pro. Do you remember when you told her to get in the trash can?
Oh yeah, and she did.
She did it. Well, she said it as a joke. She was. What did you say?
I said, because this trash can is huge and Imelda's quite tiny, and
very
I was
small.
like, get in the trash can.
And she did.
She did.
That doesn't surprise me. When she came by here, we were expecting her to be, fairly proper. She was like
Yeah.
footloose, fancy-free goofball, having a great time. She was awesome. So.
No, she's cool, man. And now she's playing the queen in
The
the
Crown.
Crown.
The Crown.
Yeah, she's now the queen. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, we want people. This is my new show. It's going to be my new show.
You're gonna love it.
Good.
You'll not be
Good.
disappointed.
It's called Trying. It's on Apple TV Plus. There are 3 seasons for you to choose from. The new season, the new episodes come out on Friday. So make sure that you take a look now. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for
being
having us. That was fun. That was
Our
great.
pleasure. Esther Smith and Rafe Spall. On the show Trying.